No longer any question that the Earth is warming. The warming is due to greenhouse gases, and that those gases are produced by us.
Drill, baby, drill, and drill now.
The giant oil slick off the coast of Louisiana is getting
Childhood
worse.
asthma is on the rise.
1 in 10 people are out of a job.
Foreclosures are skyrocketing.
It's no longer affecting only minority and low-income populations. It is threatening the destruction of the very thing we as a human species rely on, our Mother Earth.
My dream is to wake up and not hear gunshots, to wake up and not have to fear police brutality, to wake up and not have to live in a world where violence is more of an option in high school graduation.
The fastest way to stop a bullet is to give someone a job. And, you know, what better job to give them than the one that transforms where they live?
Investment in green technology will create opportunity for more Americans to get back to work.
This is a real serious movement. This is a movement now, but it's a movement that is going to change the 21st century.
Hi, I'm Rosa.
And I'm Julian. Rosa, you work at a desk. Why are you wearing a helmet?
It's not a helmet. This is a hard hat. And more importantly, it's a symbol of this green jobs movement.
Okay, green jobs. So you're talking about the ones that Obama's always speaking on, right?
Yeah. A lot of people are confused about what a green job is and even more what a green economy is.
Excuse me, player, I can explain that. A green economy is the solution to two of our biggest problems. One being a messed up economy and the second being climate change.
Thank you, Marquise. Marquise is one of the many artists who's going to be telling the story of a green economy through music, not as a host in front of a green screen. We live in Oakland, California, where the unemployment rate is officially over 17%.
I mean, 17%. It just sounds like a number, right? But what it represents is people and families who are stressed out, living month to month, in danger of losing their homes or not having enough food to eat.
In West Oakland, we've got 53 liquor stores and not one full-scale grocery store. Plus, we've got some of the highest rates of asthma and diabetes.
But who are we telling? I bet you or someone you know is out of work or suffers from the same pollution-based economy.
It's time to go green, we gotta go green. The food ain't fresh and the air ain't clean. From the hood to the birds, everybody go scream. Dr. King, we living your dream.
My little brother, he always had like breathing problems growing up, but I think that a lot of that comes from this freeway, from these trains. So this is the backyard. So, you know, some people got swimming pools in their backyard. Well, we got a swamp, seaweed, it smells, crazy smells. It's just crazy, and we have to live here. This is where we live. This is not just no toxic dump. This is like my backyard. This is where we live.
So what's the problem? Why aren't we addressing the environmental crisis and creating hundreds of thousands of new green jobs in the process? And what got us into this mess in the first place?
We live in an economic system that puts profits ahead of all else, and no one understands that more than those of us living in low-income neighborhoods. Just look at all the major chain grocery stores that have shut their doors in our neighborhoods. Most of them were making profits. They just weren't making big enough profits. And it doesn't matter if the people in that neighborhood needed that grocery store for food and for jobs. If the profits aren't high enough, it's gone.
For every dollar they get, they exploit the culture and take resources, control the media, and censor the voice of the voiceless, sitting back fat in their office. They don't see people, just profits and losses.
Climate change is related to all kinds of other problems that affect people every day, like the water crisis, food insecurity, and harmful toxic waste. These problems are only going to get worse unless we do something about it. There's nothing we can do about it, right? Wrong. What we have is people power. In recent history, people power succeeded in getting the government to support communities targeted by environmental racism. In the last several decades, the farm workers movement has won many victories, including mandatory bathroom breaks and securing the proper tools for farm labor. The civil rights movement won voting rights and equal access to quality education. And today we're using our power to build an inclusive green economy that's strong enough to lift people out of poverty.
Green for All is committed to an economy that not only helps us to protect our environment, but allows us to become energy independent and creates jobs for the people that need them.
These green jobs, they are the better future because they're healthy and they're right for the people and the environment, And they're green also because they're taking the people who would otherwise be poor and putting green in their pockets. So it's a good lucrative investment.
One of the easiest ways to both reduce harmful pollution and create new jobs is to invest in energy efficiency upgrades. This means weatherizing our buildings to protect them against the heat and the cold, wind and the rain, and also making modifications so that they use less energy.
We need to do some installation. Let me do a demonstration. Foam boards in your wall, leaving out precipitation. Door sweep, weather stripping, weatherizes our mission. Caulking up every crack from your hall to the kitchen. CFL lights up from your hall to your kitchen.
The nice thing about energy efficiency is that it also means saving a lot of money on our energy bills. In addition, weatherization can be a great career pathway to better paying jobs like green construction and architecture and green engineering.
Another super important and expanding sector of the green economy is the creation of sustainable water infrastructure. The water system that we have now is old and falling apart. Actually, there are 250,000 water mains that break in this country every year, which ends up costing us taxpayers $2.6 billion and wasting 1.7 trillion gallons of water every year. It also causes things like sewage to overflow into our water systems like rivers and lakes. Ugh. There are lots of cities stepping up to develop green infrastructure that protects, restores, or mimics the natural water cycle.
We believe that green infrastructure is going to be one of the new ways that we'll be able to employ communities, especially communities of color and under-resourced communities, because there's a wealth of things that people can do at the grassroots level. Community gardens, rain gardens, greenways, blueways, trails, green space. We all know that hard spaces and hardscapes like rooftops, driveways, parking lots are all impervious surface. So we need more permeable surfaces that will allow water to actually trickle down, get down and build our groundwater reserves so that we can hold water for times when we have drought. All of these are great opportunities to engage people at the local level and create really substantial, meaningful jobs that pay well and get people moving in the green economy.
Sunlight on the seed was germinated, planted in rich soil and watch the water permeated. Life is a cycle, harvest is celebrated. But if there's no growth, then life is exterminated. This is a science that was taught by the natives who didn't seek to dominate nature but innovated cultivation and crops. The law of regeneration, you reap what you sow.
Do you know that 70% of the water used in the U.S. is used for industrial agriculture? That's a huge amount of water. And only 4% of our agriculture is for growing fruits and vegetables for us to eat. The rest is for corn and soybeans to make things like high fructose corn syrup and biofuels. Meanwhile, 50 million households in this country don't have access to healthy and affordable foods. We have an exploding health crisis with the rise of things like diabetes and obesity. And these issues most severely impact communities of color. We are clearly in a food crisis, but with crisis can come opportunity.
And so everything we do is really about localizing the food system, teaching sustainable growing methods to our teens and the youth who are going to be the future leaders, and community development.
We have the chance to build vibrant, thriving communities by providing people the tools they need to convert vacant lots into neighborhood farms. Communities who are building these farms are creating jobs for the people who need them most, making healthy food available to low-income areas, increasing property value, and minimizing our dependence on a pollution-based industrial farm system.
You may have heard one of the reasons the U.S. economy has fallen behind is because we don't make things anymore. The fastest growing economies right now are in countries where actual things are produced, like India and China. The green economy gives America the opportunity to begin making things again, and to do it in a way that's good for workers, families, and the planet. Developing environmentally friendly manufacturing businesses can get our economy growing again by rebuilding our manufacturing base, and can create high-quality jobs for workers without college degrees. By making things close to home, we could seriously decrease the amount of pollution created to ship our stuff and grow our economy. Some of these green manufacturing businesses can even transform waste into renewable resources by turning recycled goods into products.
So if it's done right, green manufacturing reduces the amount of stuff we throw away. But right now, we still create tons of waste. Literally tons.
Your life is wrapped in plastic, convenience is your motto, but plastic addiction's worse than they want you to know. BP's oil spill, almost like we did it. We use 1 million grocery bags every single minute. Recycling them's a joke, yo, that baggie don't go anywhere. Turns to little pieces and it spreads over everywhere. Into your food supply, into your blood supply, not to mention birds and fish and cuties. You don't want to die.
The average American creates 56 tons of waste every year. That's over 112,000 pounds. And North Americans alone use 2.5 million plastic water bottles every hour. So vegetables and plants, they're supposed to decompose into the ground so that they can help make soils healthier. Instead, we throw them into landfills where they cannot be absorbed by the earth, and as they rot, end up releasing harmful methane gases into the atmosphere.
Little you didn't know we could change this thing with a little bit of help from politics going grain. So tell a friend and even the enemy to start asking for a green economy.
Last but not least, let's talk about cars. Scientists have proven that climate change and pollution are directly tied to our dependence on fossil-fueled cars and trucks for getting around. And there are powerful lobbies in DC representing the car and oil industry that want to keep us dependent. The reality is, though, we could end our dependence on fossil fuels by building better ways of getting around that create jobs and make our communities more fun to live in.
You can hear behind me a light rail line, which is one of the many new forms of transportation we're using in this city, where we intend to have streetcars, bus rapid transit, and by the way, where we're the #1 bike commuting city in the United States of America. Minneapolis is all about green transportation.
Quality public transportation and designing our cities so that each neighborhood has what it needs nearby means we sit in traffic less, we save money, we lead healthier, more active lifestyles, less kids get asthma, the list goes on and on.
That's the beauty of an inclusive green economy. Everyone wins. Building a green economy means understanding that we can build healthy communities and solve poverty and joblessness by addressing environmental issues in a way that involves everyone.
Green for all means that each and every one of us has a powerful role to play.
Everybody shine, be solar powered, speak your mind, that's wind power, move your H2O, wave power, organize people power, we got that soul power, everybody shine, be solar powered.
What role will you play?
That's wind power, move your H2O, wave power, organize people power, we got that soul power, wind power, wave power, soul power, solar power.